Welcome to the Life Lessons channel. Have you ever felt stuck in a cycle of worry, stress, and lack of direction? Do you want to break through your limitations and unlock your true potential? If your answer is yes, then this video is for you. Today, we're diving into 5 timeless pieces of advice from the Buddha, lessons that won't just change the way you think but can completely transform your life. These teachings have stood the test of time, offering inner peace and remarkable personal growth. Stay with us until the end of this video so you don't miss any life-changing insights. Lesson 1. Learn to master your mind. According to the Buddha, the mind is the source of all emotions and actions. When your mind is unsettled, it's easy to be swept away by negative thoughts and unstable emotions. However, by mastering your mind, you can face any challenge with calmness and clarity. Action step: spend a few minutes each day meditating, focusing on your breath, and observing your thoughts without judgment. This practice nurtures inner peace. Lesson 2. Let go to live freely. We often hold on to the past, worry about the future, or set unrealistic expectations for ourselves. This only adds pressure and holds us back from growth. The Buddha taught, letting go is the key to freedom. When you release what no longer serves you, you'll feel lighter and more at peace. Action step: ask yourself daily, what do I need to let go of in order to move forward? Lesson 3. Practice compassion. Living with compassion not only helps you build stronger connections with others but also cultivates inner peace. When you practice kindness and forgiveness, you free yourself from the burdens of anger and resentment. Action step: commit to one act of kindness each day, whether it's offering a compliment or helping someone in need. Lesson 4. Accept the truth. The truth is that everything in life is impermanent and constantly changing. When you accept this reality, you free yourself from illusions and disappointments. Action step: practice mindfulness to observe and accept things as they are instead of resisting reality. Lesson 5. Peace comes from within. True happiness doesn't come from material possessions or external circumstances, it comes from a calm and centered mind. Action step: take time each day to connect with yourself, reflect on what you're grateful for, and find peace in each breath. These timeless lessons are more than just philosophies, they are practical tools to help you break through limitations and live a happier, more meaningful life. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more insights into Buddhist teachings and mindful living. Start your transformation today. Lesson 1. Learn to master your mind. Introduction. According to the Buddha, the mind is the source of all emotions and actions. It shapes how we experience the world, influences our reactions, and ultimately determines the quality of our lives. A restless and chaotic mind often leads to anxiety, stress, and dissatisfaction, while a calm and focused mind fosters clarity, peace, and resilience. The Buddha emphasized that true freedom and happiness can only be achieved when we learn to master our minds. In this lesson, we will explore the Buddha's teachings on mastering the mind and how to apply them in our daily lives. The nature of the mind. The Buddha taught that the mind is like a monkey, constantly jumping from one thought to another, creating endless distractions and disturbances. This restless nature often leads to suffering because it prevents us from being present and grounded in the moment. In Buddhism, the mind is divided into 2 states. 1. Wholesome mind, kusala. A mind filled with compassion, wisdom, and mindfulness. It generates positive thoughts and emotions. 2. Unwholesome mind, akusala, a mind dominated by greed, hatred, and ignorance. It leads to negative emotions and destructive behaviors. The goal of mastering the mind is to transform unwholesome mental states into wholesome ones by cultivating awareness and mindfulness. The power of awareness. The Buddha emphasized that awareness is the first step in mastering the mind. Awareness allows us to observe our thoughts and emotions without being controlled by them. Instead of reacting impulsively, we develop the ability to respond thoughtfully and calmly. Practical tip: observe your thoughts as if watching clouds drift across the sky. Recognize that thoughts are temporary and do not define you. This practice helps break the habit of identifying with negative thoughts and emotions. Meditation, a tool for mental control. Meditation, dhyana, is one of the most powerful techniques the Buddha taught to master the mind. It helps cultivate focus, inner stillness, and clarity. Steps for meditation practice. 1. Find a quiet space. Sit comfortably in a quiet place free from distractions. 2. Focus on your breath. Close your eyes and pay attention to your breathing. Notice the sensation of air entering and leaving your body. 3. Observe your thoughts. Allow thoughts to arise and pass without judgment. Gently bring your focus back to your breath each time your mind wanders. 4. Practice regularly. Start with 5 to 10 minutes a day and gradually increase the duration. Through consistent practice, meditation calms the mind and creates space to observe and control thoughts. Mindfulness in daily life. The Buddha also taught that mindfulness should extend beyond meditation practice. Mindfulness in daily activities, whether eating, walking, or working, helps us stay present and centered. Mindfulness techniques. Conscious breathing. Pause during the day to take a few deep breaths and ground yourself. Body awareness. Pay attention to physical sensations, such as the feeling of your feet touching the ground. Emotional check-ins. Regularly observe your emotions without judgment. Ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? By practicing mindfulness, we create a habit of returning to the present moment. Reducing stress, and gaining greater control over our reactions. Letting go of attachments. The Buddha taught that much of our mental suffering arises from attachment to desires, expectations, and outcomes. When things don't go as planned, we experience frustration and disappointment. Mastering the mind involves learning to let go of attachments and accept life as it unfolds. Reflection exercise. Identify one area of life where you feel attached to a specific outcome. Practice letting go by focusing on the process rather than the result. Controlling negative emotions. Negative emotions like anger, jealousy, and fear can quickly take over the mind, leading to destructive behaviors. The Buddha advised replacing these emotions with positive mental states through loving kindness, metta, and compassion, karuna. Techniques to replace negative emotions. 1. Loving kindness meditation. Send thoughts of love and well-being to yourself and others. 2. Gratitude practice. Focus on things you are grateful for to shift your mindset. 3. Self-compassion. Treat yourself with kindness and understanding, especially during difficult times. Facing challenges with a calm mind. Life is full of uncertainties and challenges. But a well-trained mind can handle them with wisdom and resilience. The Buddha compared a calm mind to still water. When the water is still, it reflects reality clearly. Similarly, when the mind is calm, we make better decisions and respond to difficulties with clarity. Daily practice. Start your day with an intention, such as, today, I will face all challenges with patience and calmness. Repeat this affirmation throughout the day as a reminder. The rewards of a mastered mind. When we master our minds, we experience inner peace, freedom from constant worry and stress, emotional stability, the ability to handle emotions without being overwhelmed, clear thinking, better decision-making and problem-solving skills. Spiritual growth, a deeper connection with ourselves and the world around us. The Buddha's teaching on mastering the mind offers timeless wisdom for overcoming stress and achieving lasting peace. By practicing mindfulness, meditation, and emotional awareness, we can take control of our thoughts and reactions, freeing ourselves from suffering and creating a life of clarity and purpose. Lesson 2: Learn to let go and live freely. In life, we often hold on to the past, worry about the future, or place high expectations on ourselves and others. These attachments create unnecessary pressure, emotional burdens, and prevent personal growth. According to the Buddha, letting go is the key to freedom. When we release what no longer serves us, we experience a sense of lightness and true freedom. In this lesson, we will explore the Buddha's teachings on letting go and practical steps to apply them in daily life. Understanding attachment and its consequences. The Buddha taught that attachment is one of the primary causes of suffering. Whether it's attachment to material possessions, relationships, or outcomes, this clinging keeps us trapped in cycles of desire and disappointment. Why do we cling? 1. Fear of loss. We fear losing what we value, so we cling tightly to it. 2. Desire for control. We want to control outcomes to feel secure. 3. Ego and identity. We attach our sense of self-worth to achievements or possessions. However, this attachment often leads to anxiety, frustration, and dissatisfaction when things don't go as expected. Letting go helps us break free from these cycles and embrace peace. The wisdom of letting go. Letting go does not mean giving up or being indifferent. Instead, it means releasing expectations, judgments, and fears that no longer serve us. It's about accepting life as it is and finding freedom in the present moment. The Buddha's teachings on letting go. Everything is impermanent. Recognizing that all things are temporary allows us to stop clinging to what we cannot control. Desire is the root of suffering. Releasing attachments to outcomes helps reduce mental suffering. Freedom comes from within. True freedom is not about changing external circumstances but about changing our mindset. Practical steps to let go. 1. Letting go of the past. Many people dwell on past mistakes, regrets, or painful experiences. The Buddha taught that the past is already gone and cannot be changed. Holding on to it only prevents us from living fully in the present. Action tip: practice forgiveness, for yourself and others. Reflect on the lessons learned and release feelings of blame or guilt. 2. Letting go of worry about the future. Fear of uncertainty often causes us to worry about what lies ahead. However, the future is unpredictable, and excessive worry does not change outcomes. Action tip: focus on the present moment. Practice mindfulness to ground yourself in what you can control today. 3. Letting go of expectations. We often set unrealistic expectations for ourselves and others, leading to disappointment when they are not met. Action tip: shift your focus from outcomes to intentions. Celebrate efforts rather than results. 4. Letting go of material attachments. Material possessions can provide comfort, but excessive attachment to them can lead to greed and fear of loss. Action tip: simplify your life. Declutter your space and donate items you no longer need. 5. Letting go of ego and self-image. Our ego often ties our self-worth to achievements, recognition, and status, making us fearful of failure. Action tip: practice humility and gratitude. Focus on inner growth rather than external validation. The role of meditation in letting go. Meditation is a powerful tool for releasing attachments and calming the mind. Through mindfulness meditation, we learn to observe our thoughts and emotions without judgment, allowing them to pass without clinging to them. Meditation practice. Find a quiet space and sit comfortably. Focus on your breath and bring your attention to the present moment. Observe any thoughts or feelings that arise. Instead of holding on to them, acknowledge them and let them drift away. With regular practice, meditation trains the mind to let go naturally and develop inner freedom. Benefits of letting go. 1. Emotional freedom. Releasing attachments reduces stress, anxiety, and negative emotions. 2. Inner peace. Letting go fosters acceptance and contentment with life as it is. 3. Improved relationships. Freeing ourselves from unrealistic expectations allows us to build healthier connections with others. 4. Personal growth. Letting go opens space for new opportunities, creativity, and self-discovery. 5. Resilience. A non-attached mindset helps us handle challenges with greater ease and adaptability. Facing challenges with the spirit of letting go. Letting go does not mean avoiding problems but approaching them with a flexible and open mind. The Buddha compared attachments to carrying a heavy load. When we release it, we feel lighter and more capable of moving forward. Reflection exercise. At the end of each day, ask yourself, what can I release today to feel freer and more at peace? Write it down and make a conscious effort to let it go. The Buddha's teaching that letting go is the key to freedom reminds us that true liberation begins within. By releasing attachments to the past, fears about the future, and unrealistic expectations, we create space for peace, growth, and happiness. Lesson 3. Practicing compassion. Compassion is one of the central teachings in Buddhism and serves as a guiding principle for achieving inner peace and harmony in relationships. According to the Buddha, true compassion, karuna, arises from understanding the suffering of others and responding with kindness and empathy. Compassion is not limited to others, it also involves self-compassion, allowing us to forgive ourselves and let go of guilt or self-criticism. This lesson will explore the profound teachings of the Buddha on compassion, its benefits, and how we can incorporate compassionate actions into our daily lives. Understanding compassion in Buddhism. In Buddhism, compassion is not just a feeling but an active practice of alleviating suffering in oneself and others. It is closely related to loving kindness, metta, which is the sincere wish for all beings to be happy and free from harm. Key aspects of compassion. 1. Empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. 2. Altruism, the willingness to act selflessly to help others. 3. Non-judgment, accepting others without criticism or blame. 4. Forgiveness, letting go of resentment and anger to make room for peace. The Buddha's teachings on compassion. The Buddha emphasized that compassion is a path to freedom from suffering. He taught that our interconnectedness means that by alleviating the pain of others, we also ease our own burdens. In the story of the Buddha's enlightenment, he vowed to dedicate his life to teaching others how to overcome suffering. This vow embodies the essence of compassion, helping others find peace and happiness. The Buddha encouraged his followers to cultivate the 4 immeasurables, Brahmaviharas. 1. Loving kindness, metta, wishing happiness for all beings. 2. Compassion, karuna, wishing to relieve suffering. 3. Sympathetic joy, mudita, rejoicing in the happiness of others. 4. Equanimity, upekkha, maintaining balance and impartiality. The benefits of practicing compassion. 1. Inner peace, compassion reduces anger, resentment, and negativity, leading to emotional calmness. 2. Better relationships, compassion fosters trust, connection, and harmony with others. 3. Emotional healing, acts of kindness promote forgiveness and release emotional burdens. 4. Mental clarity. Compassion improves focus and decision-making by reducing stress. 5. Spiritual growth, it deepens empathy and aligns us with values of love and acceptance. Practical steps to cultivate compassion. 1. Start with yourself. Self-compassion is the foundation of kindness toward others. The Buddha taught that loving oneself is essential for loving others. Action tip, practice positive affirmations. Each morning, repeat phrases like, "May I be happy. May I be free from suffering." Extend these wishes to others as you grow in compassion. 2. Be present for others. Pay attention when someone shares their struggles. Listening without judgment can make others feel heard and valued. Action tip. Practice active listening by maintaining eye contact, nodding, and offering supportive responses. 3. Offer kindness daily. Small acts of kindness create ripples of positivity. A kind word, a thoughtful gesture, or helping someone in need can transform someone's day. Action tip: commit to at least one act of kindness each day. It could be offering encouragement, helping a coworker, or donating to a cause. 4. Meditate on compassion. Meditation can help deepen feelings of empathy and love. The Buddha often encouraged metta-meditation to develop compassion. How to practice metta-meditation. Sit in a quiet place and close your eyes. Start by generating loving kindness for yourself with phrases like, "May I be happy. May I be healthy." Gradually extend these wishes to loved ones, acquaintances, and even those you find difficult. End with extending love to all beings. 5. Forgive and let go. Holding on to grudges can block compassion. The Buddha emphasized forgiveness as a means to release resentment and heal wounds. Action tip: reflect on someone you need to forgive. Write a letter expressing your forgiveness, even if you don't send it. Compassion in action. Helping others. Buddhism teaches that compassion is not just about feeling empathy, it's about taking action to reduce suffering. Whether through volunteering, offering emotional support, or simply being present for someone, compassionate actions have a profound impact. Reflection exercise: think of one way you can support someone in need today. Take that step, no matter how small. And notice how it affects both you and the other person. Overcoming barriers to compassion. Sometimes, it's challenging to feel compassion, especially when dealing with anger or resentment. The Buddha advised practicing patience and seeing all beings as interconnected. Tips for removing barriers. Recognize common humanity, understand that everyone struggles at some point. Shift perspective, imagine yourself in the other person's situation. Release judgment, focus on understanding rather than criticizing. The ripple effect of compassion. Compassion has the power to create positive change, not only in our lives but also in the world around us. A single act of kindness can inspire others, creating a ripple effect that spreads joy and healing. Story reflection: recall a time someone showed you kindness. How did it impact you? Use this reflection as motivation to continue spreading compassion. Practicing compassion, as taught by the Buddha, is more than an emotional response, it is a transformative way of living. It nurtures inner peace, strengthens relationships, and aligns us with universal love and empathy. Lesson 4: Accepting the Truth. In Buddhism, one of the most profound teachings is about accepting the truth, the reality of impermanence and constant change. The Buddha emphasized that life is ever-changing, and suffering arises when we resist this natural flow. By accepting the truth, we free ourselves from illusions, expectations, and disappointments. This lesson explores the Buddha's insights on truth and provides practical steps to integrate this wisdom into our daily lives. Understanding the nature of truth. The Buddha's teachings highlight three universal truths, also known as the three marks of existence, that shape our experience of life. 1. Impermanence, anicca. Everything is in a constant state of flux. Nothing lasts forever, whether it is joy, sorrow, relationships, or possessions. 2. Suffering, dukkha. Life is often marked by dissatisfaction, discomfort, and suffering, which arise from attachment and resistance to change. 3. Non-self, anatta. There is no fixed, independent self. Our identity is shaped by ever-changing experiences, thoughts, and perceptions. Key insight: understanding and accepting these truths allows us to let go of attachments and expectations, leading to peace and freedom. The Buddha's teachings on truth. The Buddha's first sermon after enlightenment, the Four Noble Truths, lays the foundation for accepting life's realities. 1. The truth of suffering, dukkha. Suffering is an inevitable part of life. 2. The cause of suffering, samadhaya attachment and craving are the roots of suffering. 3. The end of suffering, nirodha by letting go of attachment. Suffering can end. 4. The path to end suffering, magga following the Eightfold Path leads to liberation. Reflection. Accepting suffering as a reality does not mean resignation but empowers us to transform how we respond to challenges. Practical steps to accept the truth. 1. Recognize impermanence. Acceptance begins with understanding that everything changes. Clinging to permanence causes pain when circumstances inevitably shift. Action tip. Observe nature, the changing seasons, blooming and withering flowers, as a reminder of impermanence. 2. Let go of control. We often try to control people, outcomes, and events, leading to frustration. Acceptance involves surrendering the illusion of control. Action tip. Focus on what you can influence, your thoughts, actions, and reactions, rather than what you cannot change. 3. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness grounds us in the present moment, helping us accept what is without judgment. Action tip. Start with a daily 5-minute mindfulness meditation. Pay attention to your breath and bodily sensations. 4. Shift your perspective. Difficulties and losses are opportunities for growth when viewed through the lens of acceptance. Action tip. When faced with challenges, ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? 5. Develop emotional resilience. Acceptance does not eliminate emotions but allows us to experience them fully without being overwhelmed. Action tip. Practice self-compassion during tough times. Remind yourself that it's okay to feel vulnerable. Accepting death and loss. One of the hardest truths to accept is the inevitability of death. The Buddha taught that contemplating mortality helps us appreciate life and let go of fear. Reflection exercise. Reflect on the transient nature of life. Use this awareness to prioritize meaningful relationships and actions. The role of meditation in acceptance. Meditation is a core practice in Buddhism that helps us internalize the truths of impermanence and suffering. By observing our thoughts and emotions during meditation, we learn to let them arise and pass without attachment. Meditation practice. Find a quiet space and sit comfortably. Focus on your breath and notice any thoughts or feelings. When discomfort arises, observe it without trying to resist or change it. Gently return to the breath, embracing the present moment. Benefits of accepting the truth. 1. Inner peace. Acceptance reduces mental conflict and stress caused by resistance. 2. Freedom from illusion. Recognizing impermanence prevents unrealistic expectations. 3. Emotional stability. Acceptance helps us face life's ups and downs with calmness. 4. Improved relationships. Letting go of control fosters understanding and harmony with others. 5. Spiritual growth. Embracing truth deepens wisdom and compassion. Overcoming resistance to acceptance. Resistance often arises from fear of losing control, identity, or comfort. The Buddha encouraged us to examine these fears and replace them with trust in life's natural flow. Tips to overcome resistance. Acknowledge fear, accept that fear is natural and temporary. Cultivate gratitude, focus on what you have instead of what you lack. Seek support, share your struggles with trusted friends or teachers for guidance. Applying acceptance in daily life. 1. Respond, don't react, pause before reacting to challenging situations. Reflect on whether resistance is causing unnecessary stress. 2. Appreciate the moment, find joy in small, fleeting experiences, a smile, a sunset, or a kind gesture. 3. Simplify expectations, lower unrealistic expectations to reduce disappointment. 4. Let go of the past. Reflect on lessons learned and release regrets that no longer serve you. 5. Welcome change, embrace transitions as opportunities for growth and transformation. The Buddha's teaching on accepting the truth reminds us that life's impermanence is not something to fear but to embrace. By letting go of resistance and illusions, we create space for freedom, peace, and clarity. Advice 5: Peace comes from within. In the modern world, we often find ourselves swept up in the flow of material conditions and external factors. People frequently seek happiness and peace from outside sources: money, fame, relationships, or careers. However, Buddhism teaches that true happiness does not come from these external elements. Peace and genuine happiness arise from within, from the stillness of the mind. To better understand this, we need to delve into Buddhist teachings to discover the path that leads to inner peace. The mind as the source of all suffering. In Buddhist teachings, the mind is seen as the root cause of all suffering and happiness. We must understand that nothing external can bring us lasting happiness if our minds are not still and at peace. The famous saying of the Buddha, "All suffering arises from the mind," precisely reflects the nature of the issue. The human mind is like a calm lake, but when disturbed by the clouds of greed, anger, and ignorance, it becomes murky and becomes a place where negative emotions breed. When the mind is unsettled, a person cannot experience peace, no matter how abundant their external circumstances may be. On the other hand, when the mind is at peace, when we can control our thoughts and emotions, we can find tranquility, regardless of external situations. Peace is the result of mindfulness. One of the primary methods for attaining peace in Buddhism is mindfulness. Mindfulness is not just the act of focusing on a single object, but being fully present in each moment, not swept away by worries about the past or future. When we live with mindfulness, we are not distracted by negative thoughts, and as a result, our minds become lighter and freer. Mindfulness helps us recognize the emotions and thoughts arising within us, so we can transform them rather than letting them control our lives. Practicing mindfulness daily is not only a method to reduce stress, but also the key to unlocking the door to inner peace. When the mind is freed from the bondage of anxious thoughts, we can experience deep peace without needing to search for it elsewhere. The Buddha's teaching on the inner mind. The Buddha always emphasized that freedom and peace come from within. One of his famous teachings is, "The only path to happiness is the path of the mind." This means that we cannot rely on anyone or anything outside ourselves to find peace. True peace can only be found when we turn inward, when we understand and master our own minds. In the Four Noble Truths, the Buddha teaches that suffering is an inevitable part of life. But suffering can be overcome through awareness and the transformation of the mind. When we understand the impermanent and selfless nature of life, we are no longer attached to negative emotions or worried about things beyond our control. When our minds are no longer clinging to material possessions or external factors, we can achieve inner peace. Stillness is the key to happiness. True happiness is not a temporary emotional state or an external condition that we have to search for. Happiness is the result of the stillness and tranquility of the mind. When we let go of all ambitions, worries, and fears, we can feel the stillness and happiness present right in the moment. In the Dhammapada, the Buddha teaches, the greatest happiness is not an external condition, but a peaceful mind, untroubled by greed, anger, or ignorance. This means that happiness is not a destination but a mental state that each person can attain when they truly understand and master their own mind. Peace comes from letting go. Another crucial element in finding inner peace is letting go. Letting go is not about abandoning everything in life, but about releasing attachments, excessive desires, and negative thoughts. When we learn to let go, we no longer feel constrained or bound by unnecessary things, and our minds become open, free, and peaceful. In the Eightfold Path, the Buddha teaches that to achieve liberation, we need to let go of cravings and attachments to everything, including thoughts and emotions. Only when we let go of these can we find freedom and inner peace. Peace is not something we can find in the world, it is something already present within us. To achieve true peace and happiness, we need to turn inward, master our minds, and cultivate a tranquil soul that is not swayed by negative emotions or material ambitions. When we truly understand and apply the Buddha's teachings in our lives, we will realize that peace has always been within us, we just need to open our hearts and live in the stillness of our minds. Conclusion. The teachings shared in this video are not just philosophical concepts. They are practical guidelines that can help you transcend your limitations and achieve a more meaningful and fulfilling life. Each piece of advice, rooted in Buddhist wisdom, provides a foundation for cultivating inner peace, wisdom, and joy. The journey to self-improvement and spiritual growth begins with understanding and applying these teachings in our daily lives. By embracing the principles of mindfulness, letting go of attachments, and fostering compassion and gratitude, we can unlock the true potential within us and live a life of true happiness and purpose. These teachings encourage us to look beyond the surface of life and tap into the deeper dimensions of our existence. They remind us that happiness is not found in external possessions or fleeting experiences, but in the calm, centered mind that is free from desires and attachments. By cultivating a stillness within ourselves, we can navigate the challenges of life with a sense of equanimity, clarity, and peace. We can learn to see the impermanent nature of all things and accept change without fear or resistance, trusting that each moment brings an opportunity for growth. Furthermore, these teachings remind us that true success is not measured by material wealth or social status, but by the depth of our inner contentment, compassion, and wisdom. The path of Buddhism offers us practical tools for transforming our minds, emotions, and actions, allowing us to live more consciously and meaningfully. It empowers us to break free from the cycle of suffering and to create a life that aligns with our highest values and aspirations. As you reflect on these teachings and consider how they can be applied in your own life, remember that the journey toward inner peace and enlightenment is a gradual process. It requires patience, dedication, and a willingness to embrace change. It is not always easy, but the rewards are immeasurable. As you continue on this path, you will find that the more you cultivate peace, wisdom, and compassion within yourself, the more you will experience the same qualities reflected in your relationships with others and in your interactions with the world. If you found this video helpful and inspiring, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. By subscribing, you will stay updated with more valuable lessons and insights from the Buddha, and together, we can continue to explore and deepen our understanding of life's most profound teachings. Thank you for being part of this journey with us, and we look forward to sharing more wisdom and practices that can help you live a life of peace, happiness, and enlightenment.